Welcome to The Explainer. So today, we're totally bypassing those flashy, perfectly filtered highlight reels dominating our feeds. Instead, we're zeroing in on something much more insidious and honestly super important. We're talking about the hidden mental barriers that are actively keeping people from building successful online business. The focus today is exactly why mindset blocks kill progress, and more importantly, how the source material suggests we can actually tear those blocks down for good. Let's dive right in. We've got to start with this powerful realization directly from the text. You're not stuck because you're lazy. You're stuck because nobody gave you the honest truth. Now, this comes from Amanda. She's a mom of 3, she holds down a day job, and she's the creator of the 5 Honest Steps framework. What's so cool about her perspective is that she's not shouting from the top of an untouchable mountain of wealth, right? She built her affiliate marketing business in the exact same margins of a busy life that you probably experience. Working from the kitchen table after the kids are finally asleep, or sneaking in 30 minutes before the morning commute. She figured out that laziness isn't the real enemy here. The enemy is just a lack of honesty about what it really takes to start when you have real-world responsibilities. And the source points out a pretty stark contrast we just have to accept before making any real progress. On one side, you have the highlight reel. We all know what this looks like, the polished videos. Gurus claiming they went from 0 to 10 grand in 90 days. The perfect branding. But on the other side, that's the trenches. This is the messy middle. It's trying to figure out complex digital strategies while juggling crying kids, a boss breathing down your neck, and just bone-deep exhaustion. The text makes it clear we absolutely have to separate that illusion of overnight success from the grounded, unpolished reality of starting from scratch. Once we strip away all that fake perfection, we uncover this really fascinating psychological truth. Have you ever bought a course, learned the strategy, mapped it all out, and then done absolutely nothing with it? Yeah, that's exactly the roadblock we're looking at. The source claims that your lack of progress is rarely a tactical failure. It's almost never about having the wrong sales funnel or a bad traffic strategy. The true roadblock? It's entirely in your head. It's a state of paralysis caused by specific internal mental blocks. If you don't clear these cognitive barriers first, the best strategy in the world is, well, practically useless to you. So, the 5 Honest Steps framework systematically categorizes this mental paralysis into 5 core blocks. Think of these as the silent killers draining your momentum before you even get off the ground. The text identifies them as fear of starting, imposter syndrome, consistency issues, fear of rejection, and scaling doubt. We're going to break down exactly why each of these mental traps is just so incredibly destructive to your progress. Block number 1, the fear of starting, or as I like to call it, the illusion of readiness. This is that little voice in your head whispering that you aren't experienced enough or polished enough to put something out there. It tells you your lighting is terrible, or you absolutely need a $400 microphone before you can record a 15-second video. It tricks you into waiting until you feel completely ready before taking step 1. But the framework hits hard here. Readiness is a complete myth. You do not need to feel prepared. The strategy argues you just need to begin today, exactly as you are, unpolished and entirely imperfect. Next up, the framework tackles imposter syndrome. And what's wild about this block is how universal it is, no matter your industry or experience level. Imposter syndrome is that heavy, sinking feeling that you're just a total fraud waiting to be exposed, right? It's the deep-seated belief that literally everyone else out there is vastly more qualified and credible than you are. But the honest truth presented in the text, it's simply a cognitive distortion. It is not reality. The material suggests you really don't have to be the globally recognized expert in your niche. You just need to be a few steps ahead of the specific people you're trying to help. The third block is all about consistency issues, but it approaches it in a way that directly counters all that generic hustle culture advice. Gurus love to scream about grinding 24/7, never taking a day off. But honestly, the suffocating pressure of perfect consistency just creates a toxic all-or-nothing mindset. If you miss posting on a Tuesday because your kid got sick, this mindset tells you you've ruined the whole week. That kind of thinking turns one single missed day into a missed month or even a missed year. The text explains that this flavor of perfectionism leads straight to rapid burnout and stops long-term progress dead in its tracks. Fourth on the list is the massive psychological barrier of the fear of rejection. Oh, this one is so relatable. It's that hesitation that makes your finger hover over the publish button for 10 minutes, only to quietly close the app instead. It keeps you playing small because you're terrified of how people, especially your friends, family, or coworkers, are going to respond to your new venture. This block is a massive progress killer. The source text argues that a business simply cannot exist in a vacuum. If you hide your work out of fear of judgment, you're inherently hiding your potential for success. Finally, we have scaling doubt. And this just goes to show how incredibly sneaky our brains can be when it comes to self-preservation. Let's say you push through the first 4 blocks, you put yourself out there, you actually get some traction, and then bam, you suddenly hit this artificial, invisible ceiling. Scaling doubt is defined as the subconscious fear that you can't actually handle success, or it's a lingering paranoia that your initial positive results were just a complete fluke. The material highlights this as a really profound form of self-sabotage that keeps people playing small even after they've practically proven their concepts actually work. Now, identifying these 5 distinct mindset blocks is obviously a huge first step, but it naturally leads the text to address a super practical question. How do you actually execute a content strategy when the very thought of showing your face or freezing up on camera makes you want to hide under your desk? Because let's be real, for a lot of everyday folks, staring into a camera lens is the ultimate trigger for all 5 of those paralyzing mindset blocks we just went over. To tackle these specific fears, the 5 Honest Steps framework proposes a faceless content strategy as its core solution. According to the text, this means you can build an online presence without ever having to show your face on video. Like, not once, if you don't want to. On top of that, the framework embeds AI prompts directly into every single step of the process. The goal here is so you literally never have to stare at a blank screen wondering what to write. By leaning on these tools, the source suggests you can build a business quietly and efficiently without ever needing to adopt the exhausting persona of an online performer. The source material positions this whole framework as an entry-level starting point. They've priced the digital book and the accompanying 7 video training modules at just $7. The stated goal for this specific pricing model is to radically lower the barrier to entry for beginners. Instead of pushing a high-ticket course that requires a massive financial leap of faith, the creator intentionally designed this to be highly accessible. It's specifically targeted at individuals who are just tired of pretending and are looking for a grounded, realistic place to start. To bolster its credibility, the framework also includes some solid industry validation. It highlights the backing of Paul Hammond, a 30-year business veteran known in the space as Mr. Biggs. The text points out that Hammond actually stakes his reputation on this framework, noting that he typically doesn't align with products he hasn't personally vetted. To support the 5 Honest Steps approach, the material outlines that he includes a very specific, extensive bonus structure for users who access the framework through his designated channels. So let's look at what's in that bonus bundle. The source documentation outlines several supplementary tools, all theoretically designed to further remove the friction that triggers our mindset blocks. We're talking a Facebook group's cheat sheet focused on audience targeting, an archive of 2,000 ready-to-use content prompts to absolutely crush writer's block, 500 ready-made short-form reels to keep the algorithms happy, editable Canva templates so you never start a design from scratch, and deep dive guides on organic traffic. It's presented as this entire ecosystem of structural support meant to help you bypass those mental hurdles. And to directly address the financial anxiety that feeds right back into that very first fear of starting block, the creators include a 14-day, no questions asked refund policy. They genuinely encourage users to read the book, work through the video steps, and actively test the methodology. From a psychological standpoint, the text argues this policy removes the perceived risk. By creating a risk-free environment, the framework attempts to disarm your brain's natural threat response, making it significantly easier to take that critical first step and begin overcoming those blocks safely. Ultimately, the choice the source material leaves us with isn't just about adopting a new business framework. It's about fundamentally shifting your psychology. Are you going to stay paralyzed on the sidelines, unfairly measuring your Chapter 1 against the impossible fake standards of the internet's highlight reel? Or are you finally ready to confront your own mindset blocks, embrace the realities of the messy middle, and start building your honest reality today? The strategies are clearly laid out in the text, but the internal decision on what to do with them, well, that is entirely up to you.